Hello everybody, I'm here with the one and only Danielle Albro. How are you?
Good.
Goody?
Good.
Hey, why don't you tell everybody here a little bit about what is it that you do here?
For Voga, I am a level 4 stylist. I am part of the education team. I am team lead for the whole team, not just shifts, for the whole team.
That's right. She's being modest, but she actually makes transformation happen on a daily here. Definitely, she have worked through the ranks level 4 right now with our staff, and big portion of the education that happens behind the scenes to get all our staff up to date with everything. So I was convincing Danny today to get in camera with me because I wanted to talk a little bit about the one enemy in the hair salon business, which is our buddy box color. Huh? Every time you drop those two words within these four walls,
stylists freak out. It's like an immediate freak out.
It is. Our support team is behind there, and they know that when on the phone and somebody says I dig box color at home, man, red flags start going on left and right. Box color, even though it might sound like the most affordable option, it really isn't. All right. Before we start with this, let's define what box color is. Let's say you never use this thing, right? What's box color, Danny?
Anything that's not salon professional. So even if you're getting it at Sally's, it's still considered box color. If you get it at Walmart, if you get it at Whole Foods, if you get it anywhere at all that's not from inside a salon or a place that salon stylists can purchase it from.
And this is the logic behind it. They try to use a one-size-fits-all approach for all your color needs. So now, what are some of the characteristics when you apply box color? You get this thing out of the package, and then what?
You do end up mixing it yourself, but typically the developer or the liquid portion of it is going to be a very high volume, so that if somebody has gray hair, it will still cover that. But also if somebody has very thin, fine hair, it's kind of going to blow their cuticle out so that they will have worse effects of it, I guess.
Okay, let's talk about color. What means great coverage and so on? So we have what? Permanent color.
Permanent, demi, and semi.
Okay? Most of the time, the color that is inside of a box is going to be permanent. Am I right?
Yes.
Most of the time, permanent color. Let's talk about permanent color.
The longer lasting color, but it's also going to break down more of your disulfide bonds. Each time you color your hair, you're breaking down your disulfide bonds. Your disulfide bonds are what basically holds your proteins together, and if your proteins start to break down, your hair strands start to break down, and that's what causes all of your split ends.
So permanent color, like the word says, is more longer lasting.
It is longer lasting.
But it comes at an expense.
Yes, exactly.
So the reason why it lasts longer is because, correct me if I'm wrong, you lift in a little bit and you're depositing,
Yes, you're lifting, you're opening your cuticle, you're depositing color, and then you're closing.
Okay. Now, this is something that it's okay to do with your roots. Am I right?
Yeah.
But you don't want to do necessarily time and time again.
Yeah, you can pull it through. Sometimes I'll do one all over color to get a nice even effect the first time, and then second time or third time I'm pulling through a demi or a semi so that it's less of your bonds that are going to break down with each surface.
All right, so if the word says it, permanent. Now, what happens if, let's say, I put a permanent, let's call it brown or dark brown or black in my hair, right? It's always permanent black box color. And I see I want to change, right? I'm on my Instagram, my Pinterest account. I see a nice set of highlights, and now I want to go blonder. What are some of the challenges that comes with using box color?
Well, a lot of times as professionals, or as box colors, they don't use like the quality of products that we use in salons. So it's usually very harsh on your hair. If you start to lift through it, or if you want the highlights, or if you even just want like a little bit of a shift, you have to lighten it up quite a bit just to get the shift. And if you start to lighten it, things can happen like it could turn just red and not really get past red, or it may just enter the orange phase. It's usually not going to get to yellow if you started from black. And in the yellows, that's where you can actually kind of finagle a blonde out of it. But most of the time, if you're in the reds, you can't get out of a red. There's no cooling option, or it's very, very hard to turn a red cool because red is...
Yeah, it's as warm as it gets.
Yeah, it's the primary color. It's the warmest primary color. So it's going to have a lot of pigment. It's going to be very hard for a secondary color to cool it up, which would be green. So it's always going to have the underlying red.
So to summarize things on the color wheel aspect of things, this is the way it happens, right? When you want to get into the blondes, especially cool blondes, let's just find what's cool blonde. Let's tell them what cool blondes are.
Anything that is lack of yellow, or anything that has like violet, ashy blue, anything that's on the cool side of the color wheel.
Well, most blondes want, right?
Most blondes want.
Right. So in order to get to that, you got to be able to counteract whatever is causing those yellow tones, and why not? But if you're living on the orange and red side of things, it's almost impossible to get to that point, right?
Yeah.
So at that point, you got to be settling off for some kind of warm tones, coppery tones, and
Even
things
if
like that.
it's not warm that day, it will probably be that warm in a few weeks, regardless.
Mm-hmm.
You may be cool, you may look very nice, neutral, or cool that day, but as your color starts to fade, your underlying pigments are going to show through again.
And one of the big deals about this is unpredictability, right? So
Yeah.
when you have somebody that has used box color over box color over ox color, putting root to ends time and time again, he adds tons of unpredictability, which that's what typically leads to a color correction,
Yeah.
right?
Yes,
So
absolutely.
color corrections, let's talk a little bit about that. It's color correction because we don't really know what we're dealing with, right?
Right. Anything that's, like you just said, unpredictable. If it's been box colored, sometimes people don't want to tell us exactly what they've done on their hair. They may be embarrassed. We don't care. It is fine if you did that. All good. I just want to know about it so that I can do my very best to help you, attain your goal or reach the colors that you want, or let you know what's realistic or what's not realistic. If you want to be blonde from black and you've been doing your black color at home for the last 2 years, I'm going to tell you, we're going to set up a game plan for each one of your visits, and it may take 4 visits for you to get to your ultimate goal. But I promise you, if you tell me what's going on your hair, I'm going to set you up with something nice that we can both agree on, that you're going to like each time you leave, instead of just trying whatever I can and not really getting something that either of us like. I don't want you to leave the salon feeling disappointed or feeling like you're not in love with your hair. What makes me a better stylist is being inspired when you like your hair.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know that you're going to walk out of here and feel good for your next 6 weeks until you come again.
100%. And there is a limit to how far you can push your hair for each sitting, right? It's like, well, you just lost some 40 volume, let it sit in there until it comes out. You will not have hair.
It will come out.
It will complete. You'll be bald. It will be about like this. So you want to walk out, right?
Yeah.
So, one of the things that you guys do is they try to set realistic expectations based on the health of your hair. How far can we push it to make sure that we don't break that line, but it's going to take you a long time for it to come back, yeah?
Yes,
okay, so let's pretend that I have already done it, guilty as charged, used box color, regret it, right? And I want to get back in the routine, right? I want to get back to, let's do it right, learn my lesson. What will be something you recommend that people do when they get there? What will be the first thing? I made a decision today. I'm done with this. What do I do next?
Usually we'll have you come in for a consultation. That way, or have a consultation prior to your appointment. That way we can decide on something that is going to probably be middle of the road. Because like you just said, I don't want to have anyone leave here with damaged hair. So if we have a goal in mind and it starts turning, or like your hair, I can tell that your hair is starting to react poorly to the chemicals or the products or whatever, as far as lightening goes, I will tell you that we need to stop at this. Or I will set the expectation as stopping at something that's a little bit, it may be darker than what you want to see, it may be warmer than what you want to see, but we'll have to definitely make sure that when you get here it'll be multiple sessions before we can attain certain goals. But definitely, we just make sure that we talk to you and set expectations. Make a roadmap, make a game plan, set the expectations. That way, everybody feels good and comfortable before the actual coloring starts.
Mm-hmm. And a big one. So let's say you do take the leap, right? You start, let's pretend that you're going from dark to light, which is typically the color correction you mostly see. There are some on the opposite direction, but most of the time, you're going from a dark color to a light color. Let's talk about the importance of the aftercare, right? That's extremely important.
Yes.
Making sure that they are adding, moisture, proteins, and taking good care of it, almost bathing the hair, right? Until the next appointment.
Yes, for sure.
Very good, very good. Well, thank you everybody for watching, Danny. Appreciate your input. See you the next time. Bye-bye.